Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Techno Talks here. So in front of us today we do have the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra and the OnePlus 13. Both of these are the flagship devices of their respective companies, and they both have been newly released. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. In this video, we're going to go ahead and do a speed test between them, so some app launches, some RAM management, and then also some benchmarks in the end to compare these two flagships. Starting off with the specs, the S25 Ultra and the OnePlus 13 both come with the brand new Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset. However, the one on the S25 Ultra should be a little more powerful because it is the 4 Galaxy version, so it is specifically made for the S25 Ultra. As for the RAM on both these devices, for the S25 Ultra, we unfortunately get 12 gigabytes RAM in North America and some other European countries, unlike the 16 gigabyte RAM variant they get in some different countries. However, on the OnePlus 13, we do get 16 gigabytes of RAM, so number-wise, we do have the higher amount of RAM. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. Starting off the boot up test, this really doesn't mean too much, but again, people still do want to see these tests, so I still do conclude them. So starting off in 3, 2, 1. Let's see which one of these devices boots up first. And quickly, just a little comparison between the two. I am looking at both these displays, and I'm not sure if you can notice, but the anti-reflective coating on the S25 Ultra is working perfectly compared to the OnePlus 13's display right here, which is one of the benefits of Samsung's displays right now. And here is a look at that S25 Ultra, which did boot up first, and quickly behind it, the OnePlus 13. Now that both these devices are opened up, go ahead and check our background apps. We have nothing open right now, and I also did went ahead and turn off the mobile data on the S25 Ultra, so it's a fair comparison. They're both connected to the same Wi-Fi, so we shouldn't have any issues in terms of loading things like, for example, our Instagram feed or our X feed. Starting in 3, 2, 1 with our calculator. That did seem like the S25 Ultra. Calendar. I think that's the S25 Ultra. Clock. Think again, that's the S25 Ultra. And again, if I do mess these up, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. Camera, that's going to be the OnePlus 13. Flipping it around, again, that is going to be the OnePlus 13. Moving on to Instagram, that is going to be the S25 Ultra. X, let's see, that is, so the one on the left, the 13, did load in the new post, but you do have to click it. On the S25 Ultra, it did load in the feed first, but I think they both loaded them in at the same time, so that is going to be a tie. Groupon, that is going to be the S25 Ultra. ESPN, let's see which one loads in the video first. That's going to be the OnePlus 13. Amazon, I think that was a tie. eBay, I think that was a tie as well. YouTube, that is going to be the S25 Ultra, just by a tad bit faster. Chipotle, that is going to be the S25 Ultra. And now we can move on to our games. So again, as you can see, very similar results, only by a couple milliseconds where one device is faster than the other, or they are getting ties. So Smash Your Own 1 to 2. Let's see which one loads in first. I think that was a tie again. All right, moving on to Temple Run 2. I am trying to click these at the same time so we have no differences. Let's see which one loads in first. And that is going to be the S25 Ultra. Go ahead and click play on both these devices. And now Asphalt. Let's see which one loads in first. And that is going to be the S25 Ultra. So again, very close to each other. And finally, our last game, Dead Trigger 2, in 3, 2, 1. I think that was the OnePlus 13. Now clicking play. Let's see. I think that's going to be the S25 Ultra. So the OnePlus 13 did actually load in the game faster. And after clicking play, I believe it just depends on which one you click a little faster. I think that's how it is with this game at least. And so the S25 Ultra was a little faster at loading it in. However, I do think that is just because of the click that I made. So again, as you saw from the results, very similar to each other. And both these devices are super fast. Moving on to our RAM management. Let's go ahead and go over all of our apps. All right, so far so good. And again, the cameras just reopen and close, so that is not an issue. So far so good. Also, the calendar on the OnePlus 13, it just refreshes. That's how Google Calendar works, so that is not a reload. All right, so far so good. eBay, oh, really good. Both these devices still there, and both the devices do have everything open. Okay, and moving on to our final game, and boom. So both the devices have kept open everything, which is super nice. So closing them out real quick, go ahead and get everything closed out. Let's see. All right, everything is closed out. We can now move on to our Geekbench 6 CPU benchmark. Again, we're just gonna run a CPU benchmark to compare the scores to each other. Again, both these do have the same chipset. However, the one for the Galaxy is custom made for Samsung. So it might be a little bit more powerful, which is what we're gonna see after we run this benchmark. So starting that benchmark, we'll go and wait for this, and once this is over, we'll check out those scores. Taking a look at these scores, they are actually looking very similar. So starting off with the OnePlus 13 single core, we got a 2,948, and the S25 Ultra got a 2,896. So the OnePlus 13 got a 50-point higher score. As for the multi-core, we did get a 8,737 on the OnePlus 13 and a 9,232 on the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. So around a 500-point difference right there. Again, the S25 Ultra did get the better multi-core. The OnePlus 13 did get the better single core. However, you can see that these results are very similar. And honestly, I don't really think Samsung has done too much of a difference with their chipset for the S25 Ultra. However, I do think it's a little more optimized for Samsung's own device. But again, as you can see, very similar results. They are using the same chipset. Now we can move on to our 3D Mark test right here, where we will be running a wildlife extreme stress test. And this is around a 20-minute test where it just stress tests both these devices. So let's go ahead and start this and take a look at the scores once they are done. The tests have completed, and we've actually got some rather interesting scores. So taking a look at the best loop score on both these devices, starting with OnePlus 13, we have a 6,354, which is a really good score. As for the S25 Ultra, we do have a 5,544. Again, a really good score, and it is better than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. However, compared to the OnePlus 13, there's almost a 1,000 point difference. As for the lowest loop score, we have a 4,417, which is again really nice. The OnePlus 13 is super good at these tests, and the S25 Ultra has a 2,902. Again, almost a 1,500 point difference. As for the stability, the OnePlus 13 69.5% and 52.3% on the S25 Ultra. And if we do go down to this stress test right here, we can actually see each of those loops. And as you can see, the OnePlus 13 does start really high, and then it does go down to 5,500. Same goes for the S25 Ultra. It does go down, down, down. However, the OnePlus 13 does go up at a certain point, and then it does continue going down. The S25 Ultra just steadily goes down. Going down to our performance monitoring, we can see that we dropped from a 93 to an 82% on the OnePlus 13 and a 70% to a 62% on the S25 Ultra. So we did lose less battery life on the S25 Ultra. The temperature was 37 degrees on the S25 Ultra, 36 on the OnePlus 13, and the S25 Ultra did stay cooler at 44 degrees Celsius. However, the OnePlus 13 did go up to a 48 degrees Celsius, so it did actually run fairly warmer than the S25 Ultra, and that is probably due to the new cooling system they have for the S25 Ultra. Finally, taking a look at our frame rates, 13 to 45 and 19 to 47. So some pretty good frame rates, but again, from this test, we can see that the OnePlus 13 is the more powerful device. So in day-to-day usage, I've been using the S25 Ultra for a couple days now. I haven't had it for too long. The OnePlus 13, I did have it for a longer period. I can tell you that both these devices are super smooth, and they will be able to do everything perfectly. So you won't really have any issues on that end. However, if you're just looking at these benchmarks, then yes, the OnePlus 13 is the more powerful device. So that will basically wrap it up for this video. As always, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and see y'all in the next one.